Hey everyone, welcome to Beauty and the Roses. I am Robin. I have Nichole here with me and Lynet. This is our first episode and we're going to talk about the birth of Beauty and the Roses today.
Yes, welcome ladies. Usually we talk about a lot of heavy topics. This group has been such a godsend of a group.
Yeah.
It started off really as a small, intimate women's Bible study, and virtually too, because when I created the group, I couldn't leave my house because I have 3 little ones at home and no babysitter. So God put it on my heart and He was like, we're going to start with Zoom. And so it really just got birthed out of Zoom. And because it was virtual, it touched many different women from different churches. So we just became a melting pot of Christian women. And it was so good that we decided, like, hey, let's record it, let's make it bigger, and that way we were able to touch other women through our conversations, because that's really what brought us together.
Yeah.
Lynet, when you joined us, Lynette's been with me from the jump. So she's been with me since it was just like little 5 of us.
Yeah.
When you joined, tell us about that. Like, that was...
I joined off of the neighborhood group from church, and I came like a lot of the girls, most of the girls, hurting, seeking, wanting to find community that was like-minded believers, but happened to be wives who were seeking healing, restoration, and just that comfort that comes from being with a group of ladies. And also, there was just an acceptance, because it's so hard to be open and be transparent and say, hey, I'm going through it in my marriage, and you feel like you might be the only one or you're the worst one. And there's a lot more like me.
Definitely is.
Yeah, and it was sometime later too that you brought Robin alongside to group 2.
And that was a story in itself. Like, I thought I was going to not be able to join the group because I thought my marriage was done. Like, there was no way. It's a wash. This is a marriage group. Why would I even join? Why even take the time? But God had other plans. And Nichole over here kept nudging me like, hey, sis, join the group. You sure you don't want to join? And I was like, you know what? Let me just try it.
Yeah.
And I was highly blessed. I am so grateful for my sister Lynet and my sister Nichole and all the ladies of Beauty and the Roses. Like, it is a true sisterhood that I did not know was available to me, that I so needed. Like, I need it. And I know there's so many more women that need real sisterhood based on God's foundation, that you can cry to, you can be vulnerable, and they'll pick you up.
Yeah.
They'll pick you up.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. It's beautiful to have that sisterhood.
Yeah. And back then it was just a wives group back then, because, and it's crazy because when God told me to just start the group, this is how I knew God had a sense of humor, because I literally was going through it in my marriage. It was a season where I wasn't even sure if I was going to stay married. And God was like, hey, I want you to create a space and a group for other wives, because this is hard, and the enemy wants nothing more than to isolate us and make us feel like we're doing this by ourselves and we're the only ones going through these struggles, these conversations. And I was like, "Donde está, God? You have the wrong one. I am not the one to do this." And so funny. But you step out in faith, and when God puts something on your heart, He really doesn't leave you alone about it, right?
No.
So I was in prayer, like, oh, is this a thing from you, Lord? Or is it, obviously He put it on my heart. I started the group, and everybody's group was so fun. Everybody else's group was like, let's go to the movies, let's work out, let's, you know, do all the things. And mine was like, if you're struggling in your marriage, sign up, come on in. And I was like, who's going to join this?
So many women. So many.
But it really turned into other women who weren't even married or were going through separation.
Yes.
Or who were getting divorced, dating. And we were like, wow, it just turned into a safe space for women. And so we were like, we just opened it up to women. That essentially was like, hey, this is a sisterhood. No matter what walk you're on, here's your safe space. You know, so it has been such a blessing. It's been a wild, crazy ride.
And I thank God for your obedience, because it was those 5 or 6 faces on Zoom. You were leading. Okay, here's a question. Cricket. I'm gonna get started.
Black screen, and nobody coming off mic.
And then for your yes, God kept expanding, and you had to say yes every time. So 5 to 2 dozen to over 20 to out of state, other churches, and now he said, "Let's go WWW. Let's go worldwide witness. And just the healing that will go out and the equipping, because we hear too from the girls. I told somebody else about the group. I told somebody else. There's this, there's these sisters that you don't have to be alone in. Again, the greatest thing that the ladies find is not to let themselves be isolated, not to be under the deceit of confusion and chaos, and to be open and vulnerable and transparent. There's no way to be healed if you would not go to the doctor and just be like, hey, I'm good. No, I'm fine. I'm good. I just wanted to see if you're still here. And go home sick and hurting. And I'm grateful to be a part.
Yeah. And I came in at the tail end of everything, but it was so beautiful. When I came in, I just felt like welcome. I felt the love of God in the room. And it's like most of the time when you go through things in marriage or sisterhood, either way, when you go through life and you really feel God like tugging at you, like, hey, I don't want you to do like the world. I don't want you to be like everyone else. I want you to do something different, something new. You don't know. You don't have people to turn to that actually feel the same way.
That part.
Right? So it's hard to try and navigate this, and then you feel like, oh, it's just me, like I'm isolated.
Yeah.
But really, when I came into this group, I saw me. Like I saw other women that felt the same way. Like I'm fighting for my marriage.
Yes.
I'm fighting for my relationship. Like I need sisterhood. I need community. Like I want this. And there are other women who feel the same way. Yeah. And so I'm just so grateful that you said yes and that you were the words and the hands and feet and you presented it to me. And here I am today in a new place. My marriage is 100 times better than it's ever been. I have sisters for life. And I'm able to pour into others and tell them like, hey, I was there and God did a move so miraculous that you would never believe that it came from just come to group. Get on Zoom.
You don't even smell like the fire that you were in. You don't even smell like the fire.
Not at all. And I'm just so grateful.
I think that's something that the group does too. As long as you're willing, it allows you, encourages you, or the Holy Spirit reveals, his plan in you to turn around and to grab a sister by the hand and say, come. And so when I met Robin at PJs and Lattes and said, hey, there's a Praying Wives group, I wasn't at the finish line. And some women think that I cannot go. My marriage is jacked up. I want to be in a marriage group where, I'm talking about baking cookies and he taking me on a date. Meanwhile, I'm saying this is hard and I don't know about him. God, did I miss you? But coming and being poured into and turning that pain into purpose. is also a gift of the group too.
And God will meet you where you're at.
Absolutely.
God will meet you where I think a lot of times we think like we see other Christian women that we admire, we look up to, and we're like, how?
Yeah.
Like how? Because my mouth can't, like, or just,
I'm trying to be submissive. I'm trying, Lord.
That word was really hard for me. I once upon a time in my life to just even swallow that word of like, I wish he would try to tell me, you know what I mean? But again, my story not being, raised in church, so I was very female dominant, and being around like-minded Christians and realizing that that's our role, and having other women to speak life into me in the times that I doubted so much in myself. When we get to those, because we all do, life will throw us every which way, and we just want to tap out. We're just like, I'm done. Like, this is too much. Let's say, God, I tried all the things. And to be able to go to a sister when you are literally there and not feel judged, because she knows exactly what you're talking about, especially women. Because we know all the emotions that we feel, and we're like, you want to talk crazy? Let me, it's okay. We match the crazy. You know what I mean?
It's okay, but I'm praying for you.
We're gonna pray about it. We're gonna pray about it. But to have someone speak life, because that's so important. The power of life and death, right, is in our tongue. So to have somebody else, even when you don't see it in yourself, to speak that life over you, then to pray for you, having someone come alongside you with prayer, like, you won't find that unless you step out of your comfort zone and get into a community, and so that's why I think we've been so. Bring your sister, tell your cousin, send them the link, because you never know what God got going on, and it might be just what they need to hear. So when we started hearing that girls were coming, like, can I send it to my sister, in New York? We were like, yes, come. Welcome to Puerto Rico. Let's go. Like, we were like, because, and God showed me, the church isn't just at church.
No.
Right.
The church is outside of church. Sometimes we gotta be the church. Yes, we're the church.
We are the church. That's it, literally.
It's so important. Like, I've seen such a change in my life to just not doing life alone. And not being embarrassed or feel shame, because the enemy wants you to feel all those things. Not to feel like I have made it and I have arrived in order. No. Like, I'll be the first one
every
to
day. We are every day moving towards the mark. We have never arrived. Until we're in glory.
You'll be still working on me until then.
It's like, Robin, check your attitude. Robin, check this. And it's like, oh, okay, God, I'm working at that.
Which is why we decided to go, okay, hey, we're going to go make a platform. We'll discuss topics that are just hard to talk about. Some of them, I think we'll go light some weeks, but some of these topics come from real hurt. And then we'll invite maybe someone, a fourth chair, to come on with us and talk about it. And then the beauty about our group is we got together virtually, which we're still going to do. So if there's ever a time where someone, wants to join, they're more than welcome. Our doors are always open, especially if there's a topic that touches their heart. And if they're struggling with anxiety and we talk about it that week, come to the Zoom. Let us love on you. Let us pray for you.
That sisterhood is real, and it's available to all of us. We are open to all new women coming in with your hurts, your scars, even no scars. You don't have to have scars to be in the group. You can just come because I want to be a part of this. Like, I need the sisterhood, and I want to be a hand. Maybe there's someone that I can just be a helping hand, a loving spirit.
That's it.
Something.
That's it.
You are needed. You are wanted in this group, and come. Just come and watch.
I love that you said that because some women might think, well, I'm not going through it in my marriage.
Right.
But you can still come and be an encouragement and, be an intercessor or just have it in your back pocket because you can reach girls that we can't.
Yeah.
You have people at work, you have people in your family.
Yeah.
You might just have a social media group that we don't have. And then you are equipping yourself. But then also we borrow from praise reports. We borrow from good news. That's a vulnerability too, that you have to be willing, like, hey, do I want to share that we did go out and we had a great vacation? Yes, please. We want to cheer. We're going to cheer wherever you're at.
Definitely a cheerleader, girls.
Yeah. So we want the girls to come wherever they are, whatever age, whatever season they're in, because we all have like a common goal, common cause.
Yeah. We all hype each other up. We're all just, we need that. We need that in sisterhood. I think in the world today, it's so comparison, all this social media, like it's easy to just feel so small.
Yeah.
Feel so small and just feel like, I guess, not worthy too. I think the enemy does a good job of us because we know our flaws and we're like, we see these people on all the social media thinking that they got it all together, right?
No. I don't have it together. They don't have it together. No.
Yeah, so it's just a blessing to see the blessing in the brokenness. And then being able to walk alongside your sisters while they're hurting.
Walk alongside. Sometimes we carry. And your sister will go, hold on, and put your arm
like this. I'm broken.
and we'll carry you. We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Yeah.
I started seeing myself, like, I don't know about you, but when I started reading the armor of God, I started seeing myself, I kid you not, you watch like Troy and like 300, right, with the men, right? But a female version. I started seeing all the armor and I was like, oh, let's go.
You can hear the clink when you're walking, you're clink, clink, clink.
So every time I hear one of the sisters like going through in the enemy, I'm just like, oh, no, like,
not
let me
today.
get my shield.
She's a transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we fighting? We know who we're fighting.
What's his name? We got him.
And he has no power. And that, so we come ready to go to war.
We're little spiritual gangsters.
Gangsters. A little thuggish. It's okay. Everybody need a little thuggish.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You come and you find friends, but I think you are transformed and you become that friend. So you don't only receive, there is a transformation where you are that friend. You are sending the text. You are, a lifeline to a sister, a song, because that's another division of Beauty with Roses, the group meets where you can drop prayer requests, where you can drop the worship song.
That's me. I'll be like, look, I got a song for y'all. I got a song for you guys.
Me, I just sing it straight to you.
Hey, sis, what is this? Can you remember what's the name of the artist?
That just sounds like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, I was thinking about it, I go, God will send you sometimes people that literally have almost your same story.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, what'd you learn? Like, what'd you learn? If you were going to tell someone who's walking into a situation or maybe going through something that you went through. How do you guide that sister through it?
Right.
Give her,
you're a step ahead of me.
Literally. And the way we met was so God ordained. Like it was the last PJ and lattes at our church. It was women's morning, and I said, I don't know if I want to go. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I went by myself, and I sat in the front by myself. And they were like, okay, we're going to have a conversation. They were like, turn around with the tables. And I turned around, and then here, lo and behold, was my sis. And she was like, oh, girl. Oh, your story. Oh, I understand
my story.
Right. She was like, let's exchange numbers. And I was like, because this is the last one. And I was like, I came here broken, vulnerable, like seeking community, really, because I really felt like at that moment I was at my breaking point, and God knew who I needed, when I needed it, and He just orchestrated that so perfectly. And then it went from a few text exchanges to, "Hey sis, we got a group, and while the men are at the sprint, the women are going to be praying, and we're going to do coffee." And so we did coffee, and we were praying, and then I was gut punched. When I said like, the devil came after me, but he lost. He gut punched me. But guess what? When he gut punched me, I had sisters to hold me up. Like I was dying. Like I felt like I was dying inside. But because God already orchestrated my sisterhood, He lined me up to have the people around me when I needed it the most. He knew. And there were days where I just said, I need to get out of the house, guys. And I remember those texts. Like, I just need to get out of the house. Some coffee. Can somebody come with me to get coffee? Because if I don't get out of the house, I'm either gonna explode. I'm gonna be broken down. Like, and they were there.
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Let's go.
Who's got it? I don't got it. Do you got it? I think that's, to the transformation, because in how you said somebody has a similar story. While I may not identify with this, brokenness, I know brokenness, pain, I know pain. And we all come to an agreement on who is our comforter, who is our redeemer, who is our healer. And we don't have the final answer. It's Jesus, but we have enough to get you back up and going. So.
And pray with you through it. And even get you to think outside the box.
Oh, yes. She's good for that. Because listen, I'd be like, "No, God. Absolutely not, sis." And she'd be like, "Well, let me just give you another perspective." And I'm like, "Okay, maybe. That might work. Okay. I'm going to listen because I know it's God speaking through you." But she's good for that. And you need that.
You do need to be like, just because we get so caught up in thinking like, "No, this has got to be it." And sometimes the warfare that happens, it's not always the enemy.
It's us.
It's us too.
Sometimes it's that flesh.
Sometimes we get in it and we're like, "Sis, you didn't gotta go do that." You're just like, all
and that goes along with the sisterhood. You'd be like, "Guess what?" And your sister be like, "I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this." It was you.
Yes.
It was you. It was you.
Was I a little spicy? Well, your girl gets spicy. Spice. And I need a sister to hold my hand and tell me to calm down. We need basic seasoning.
Bring it down.
Not so spicy.
The tone.
Your words.
The tone. That's a good one.
Yeah, the tone. See, that's what, for me, that helps in my marriage.
Okay, well, listen. I could be like sweet, but sweet nasty. How do you say it?
You cut underneath. You be like,
what a smile.
What a smile.
Oh my gosh, that is hard.
And so Nicole's good for like, "Sis, that wasn't a good way. How about we try this?" Nicole's good at that. That's a gifting of hers.
Reframe it.
It's a gifting that's still worked on, because when I'm at home, I'm sure if my husband was here, he'd be like, "Well,
where is that?"
Literally, that's exactly what your sisterhood is for, though. Let me tell you, because when you get to that 10,
baby,
call your girl.
Get in the chat.
Get in the chat. Let all the emotions flow. Let it all flow out first, so that they can give you the let it We hear you, sis. We hear your emotion. All right, now let's tone it down when you go back in there. And then they get you to do the hard things too. Hard things first, because our flesh naturally won't go to those hard places. But when you got a sister that's saying, "Okay, you shouldn't have said that. So now you know what you got to do, right? Mm-hmm. You got to go and you got to say sorry. And I'll just be like, no. 5 more minutes. Okay. Yeah. He made me back first. Yeah. But I know for me that's helped me tremendously, because before I would just go and I would just, if you were in the line of fire, you were in the line of fire. It was all the words, all the tones, all the things. And now, thank God, God gave me sisters that can be like, sis, give me your fire. Give me your spiciness. And I'll be right there with you like, yes, I hear you, sis. I'm right there with you. I understand why you feel it. And now let's turn it around. So it's needed. It's needed in our walks, like, for sure.
Yes.
That's why I'm excited. I'm excited because we're going to be expanding. We're going to be growing. We're opening our doors. Because like I said before, it was a small, intimate, virtual Bible study, and it's now going to be open to whoever sees it. So
worldwide ministry.
Yes. Worldwide ministry. If you are on the other end of this and you're like, I've never experienced a sisterhood like that before. I've never been in an environment where they've been so transparent and that are going to pray for you and that are going to encourage you. Then I encourage you, sis, whoever's watching has never been with us before, come and check us out. Come to our Rose Room where we just let it out and be us. Like, we're not trying to be all the things. We are just
all put together.
No, we're not put together. You can come as you are, as the church says, and you don't have to say anything. You can just come in and listen. And you might hear something that might change your week, your day, your month. It might just be just what God needs or just what God ordered for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I agree. Just the growth. Going from Zoom, I think another step was Zoom to the group me. And we recognized some girls are on Zoom and they're not in group me, and some are in group me and they're not on Zoom. And then now going to the internet. But it is expanding the kingdom. It feels a little Axish, go out into all the world and preach the gospel. And I just continue to hope that all women, all walks, wherever you are, married, not married, perfectly fine. Maybe got a little hurt. Maybe you are standing. Maybe you're newlywed. Wherever you are, maybe you're a new believer. Just come. Give it 2 shots. Because I did one and I was like, they're not jacked up enough for me.
But I was that.
I do it too. It was like my mom thing, like, you got to give it 2 tries because you don't know if you don't. And then the second one, Holy Spirit was like, sit down. Oh, this is my people.
Like, listen.
These are my people. Yeah. So wherever, God's going to meet them where they are. Meet you on Zoom, meet you on the internet. There's people I'm sure is going to see the podcast and they'll be like, let me share this. I know somebody who this will be. So you'll like it. So it'll show up on somebody else's feed again because, just the watch and the witness. So it's going to grow. And I don't know. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And if you are local, for you guys, because I know for us, we're out in Southern California. We're in the IE. We do have our group me, which is our chat that we do our main, we have prayer requests in there. We have our main chat. But we also get together. We do like coffee meetups. We're trying to do life along. So if you're in the area or even if you're not in the area, we got girls and literally from San Diego that are part of our community. Fly on down, come hang out with us. We're doing life by ourselves. Go absolutely. And you're forming these relationships, even if it's virtual. Like how crazy! Like for me, that was crazy. I was like, really virtual, Lord? But these relationships really formed
wide and long
in a virtual setting. That's the day and age that we live in. It's a virtual world.
It is technology.
Technology.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you know what? We can use our social media platforms for ourselves, or we can use it for God.
Yeah.
And so we're like, hey, let's start using these platforms to reach who we need to reach.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even us. We're just the vessels.
That's it.
That's all we are. We're like, God, okay, here's our yes. And if if you are the girl in Connecticut that we don't know who you are, but you're like, that word was for
But
me.
if you're that sister in Connecticut, or you're a sister across the U.S., or a sister across the world, we are worldwide now. So come on in, join our our Beauties and the Roses pods. Come join the sisterhood.
Yeah.
Like, just come and see. You don't have to talk.
Yeah.
Just come and listen.
Yeah.
And see what other sisters are in the group that you can connect with and that may have the same story as you.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, because we do have an Instagram page. This is episode 1, y'all. So don't freak out that there's no content on there, because again, God just started putting us on this platform. So it's a thing. We're not a scam. It's not a thing. So even if you see 2 followers, it's real. That's us. Beauty and the Roses on Instagram.
Beauty and the Roses.
And we also have our YouTube channel that we'll be on. So subscribe, all the things that all the other podcasts.
Beauty and the Roses.
Beauty and the Roses.
At all of it.
Yeah, get notified, because we will be back and we're going to be going over, like I said, the topics, those hard topics. And
you don't want to miss the hard topics.
No. And then we'll open up the Zoom and we hope to see you guys there.
Yes.
So, bye.
Bye.